Good afternoon, or morning, everyone. I guess it's not actually afternoon. How we doing? Mike, check. We're in the house. Who typed in regulators? Mount up. I love that. Man, what a week. What a day. Nate Bear, I don't know if you're in front of your computer or you're getting a well-deserved break, but holy cow, man, you've been slaying it. If you're not making money in this market and in this room right now, I don't know what to tell you. Stellar, man. Absolutely stellar. Love it. Absolutely love it. I just put on, before I came on the mic and before I made my cup of coffee, this LMT trade. I kind of wanted to lotto this one, but because the at the monies for today were like, maybe 45 cents. The spreads were kind of wide, and I just wasn't sure if this was going to work today or into next week. So I'm playing the 920s for next week. The 567.50 calls, and I'm in those at 525, and where I picked him up is kind of just above this point of control level. As we talk about, you can see, when we do these markups, you can see this is our value area that we were trading within. We broke down and reclaimed that value area, right? You see, as we break down 2 days ago, Wednesday, right? And then we moved back into the pattern, and then this morning we wicked down and retested that low and pushed right back up into the point of control. That's bullish, right? That's a good signal that is bullish. So I'm playing this on the 195, right? If you can see this chart, and I'll hide all my drawings. Here's our squeeze. And here's this nice little tight consolidation here down to the 34. There's our breakdown, and it really starts to look pretty on the 130. You see these black dots down here. That's just a pro light squeeze. We're getting rounding momentum on the 130. Hopefully we'll get something that looks a little like that on the 195. And into next week, we're going to go up here and test some new highs. But look at this chart. This is the daily. If that is not trending up, I just don't know how to show you a chart that is trending any better than that. So I'm just looking to push up into those highs up there. Why don't I use the 34? I do. I use the 21 and the 34. That dark, not dark, that orangish line is a 34. So I do. And my option is right there on the screen, MPK. Yeah. Napier uses the 821.55. I use the 21 and the 34. Mainly because I now use volume profile to time my entries and not the EMAs. So I'll look at the EMAs for a pullback to a certain area. Nice close on that one. What do you like? 75 for 75 trades this week, Nate? No, literally. I think it's like 21 for 21. By the way, I like to exaggerate because it's funny, but I don't know why I need to exaggerate 21 for 21 or 22. I don't even know what it is pretty darn ridiculous. Oh man. Um, what was I saying? I can't remember. Anyway, that's the trade I'm in. I'm also in Riley with everyone. I was in PLTR earlier this week, and then I took some snipers this morning on the Spy. I took two of them, and both of them run ups into both of them 2.0 style trades, catching both of this run up here and this run up here. So I'm 2 for 2 on those. Both of them happened in a situation where I was not really in a good place to post those. They happened kind of suddenly. So I didn't get those into the room. Yeah, K-View is starting to look good again. Right? Oh no, I need to leave that on the SPX. K-View starting to look good again. I'll use it for my cost chart. Costco just made a new high. Now that's one I did not trade this week that I'm really got some FOMO on. I mean, but look at this. This is pretty fascinating. These lines have been on the chart for, I mean, way back in here. This is why marking up your charts is, a valuable thing. You've got this green value area low somewhat, but then I have this channel marked, this down channel, while it was trading in this down channel, right? And as you can see, we broke out up and away, and a lot of times you're going to come back in and retest those levels before you go again, right? And so had I looked at this when Nate was buying it on that pull, right? I could have also seen, yes, we were coming into a level, but I could have also seen that we were retesting, kind of a multi-day channel here, which would have been great, but I didn't pull it up. I can't remember what I was doing at the time. LMT, it's on the chart, right there. That's what I'm playing. And I'm looking for a move back up into these highs. Into next week. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. The sniper trades, when we're consolidating like this, again, kind of become a little bit hard to trade. But it is a Friday. I'm also 2 for 2 on those. So I might just kind of tone it down and go into the weekend feeling good and feeling mostly flat. I got LMT and Riley on, basically, in terms of swing trades. And who knows? LMT might make a nice push, right? Today I'm already, what am I up on LMT? 20% on LMT. So depending on what it wants to do, I would expect, unless we get a bunch of I was going to say it was giving us kind of a red candle there. I was saying I would expect this breakout and then a retest. That's the pattern that I would expect. But if it just wants to rip, then I'm totally fine with that. But does anybody have any questions on this pattern? There's kind of a pattern within a pattern, and you'll kind of learn to recognize these. Right, so let me get rid of those drawings again so it's a little clearer. Like, we can all see that, right? And now we're pushing up, so it's a little extended, but you can see, this is a TPS. We have a trend, right? We have our spike up, pullback and consolidation right here, you know, to make our little bird pattern, and we have a squeeze. Now it's a little tight because it's on the 195, right? If you look at it on a 130, it starts to become a little bit more clear, right? But we just have more of a pro squeeze here than a basic squeeze. But then the pattern within the pattern, right? When we come out like this, and I put my drawings back on, you know, we have this ascending triangle forming, right? Right here. See that? That's an ascending triangle. And those usually will break to the upside. Now it could have continued to chop through here and broke up over here, but it decided to break up when I was shortly after I bought it. So you kind of get these patterns within patterns, right? And then also you've got, so this was like, it was threefold. It was a 195 squeeze, right? That looked good. It was a ascending triangle here that was looking to break out. So that's a chart pattern. And it kept testing that high, right? Third time it usually breaks. Here's, you know, we'll talk. I mean, if you join us for next week, we'll do chart pattern sessions. You know, third test usually breaks. That's 1, 2, 3 and a break, right? On an ascending triangle pattern, right? And then also we had a breakdown and reclaim into the pattern, and a retest this morning. So three things that kind of say, okay, this is ready to move, right? Can you expand number 8 so we can see your chart indicators? This one? I mean, I can share this chart with you if you'd like. That's pretty easy. I also have a video on how to set this up from scratch. If you'd like a link to that video, and I highly recommend learning to do that, because once you do that, instead of just copying someone's chart, you know how to add and change things on a chart. I don't know. I saw yesterday, mods. I saw yesterday that you had a direct link to that TradingView chart video setup. Do you have that, or should I just go look real quick? Either way is fine. I just thought I saw it yesterday. Sugar Doc, did you get 10 sniper calls? I love it. Here, I'll go see if I'll go grab the video by itself. Nicely done. And again, I keep saying I'm going to make some sort of, like list. Here we go. You can only get Wendy's new salty nuts. Sorry, I hate that when it starts playing. Let's see, share, copy. This is TradingView view setup. Yeah, there's a volume profile in E-Trade. When D-Man's on, why don't you ask him what that setup is, because he also trades with E-Trade. You're talking about which watch list, the top or bottom? This bottom one here. That's Thinkorswim. There's a whole video on that on YouTube. That one you have to set up manually. It's not a shared thing, and it can be kind of time intensive. But I do have a video on that in the lessons section. Like there's 14 or 15, quick lessons on YouTube. If you click the YouTube link above, I have a bunch of videos on that. So and I can just pull that up and I can show you real quick. So if you go there, down, here's the TPS education and lessons, and it's in these lessons somewhere. Squeeze box here. I'll just share it. Sorry, I'm hearing my voice twice. Squeeze box. And I'm gonna put it for toss. So obviously you have to have Thinkorswim for that, but it'll show you how to do it. Okay, and then this afternoon when I come on at 2, I'll be doing a lesson, and during that lesson, I'll talk risk reward, and how to calculate your risk reward, and how to figure out, based on the option contract you're buying, how much or how far an option price is going to move in relation to the underlying stock. And it's kind of a basic lesson, because options, there's theta, there's gamma, there's IV that all affect pricing for options, and delta. And so what we'll do is we'll talk basically from the delta perspective of how to figure out how much in dollars you might be risking on an underlying stock. So would that be valuable to some of you that are kind of new to options? God, this Costco chart just looks fantastic. We can't buy it up here, but wow. Mike, I don't know if Thinkorswim is available for Canadians. I don't really know the answer to that. Got forwards working. Crazy. Do you take profits on forward, Nate? Or are you still holding? Looks like you're still holding, if I'm checking it right. You'd like this screen? Or this, I'm sorry, Ken? Yeah, they're different, Cavi, or Kavi. The TIX is just real time buying and selling in the NYSE, right? It's just tracking real time. This is a 2-minute, so at the moment, there's more buying than there is selling, but it's not extreme buying. Extreme buying is 900 and above 600 and above 900. And the advanced decline is just measuring the amount of stocks that are green versus the amount of stocks that are red. Right? So it can go negative for more red stocks, and green and positive for more green stocks on the day. So they're measuring two very different things. But they're internals that we have up here, so that it can kind of give us an idea, right? If we're up here and there's 2,000 stocks or so in the New York Stock Exchange that are positive on the day, and then this starts to drop quickly, like it did right over here, then we know that quite a few names are starting to go red, which would indicate that the market is rolling over. And if we saw that, we would also see, most likely we would see ticks down in this range as that's happening. But they don't necessarily correlate. But as this drops, especially hard, these come down here, and the VIX is the fear index. That should be rising. Right now, the VIX, wish I had bought some VIX puts here, but the VIX is falling as the market's going to test new highs and just continues to rip higher. And so being able to look at all three of those to evaluate what you think is going on in the market in real time is just important. John, the training videos from Nate Baer are below this stream. If you scroll below the stream, you'll see all the recordings and his intro videos. D-Man and myself both post ours to YouTube. I not right now, Trader Mike, but I did a video on that on Tuesday morning, session number 1 on the 10th. So if you go to that YouTube link that John just put in, there is an hour-long video on the sniper. And if you join us next week, I'll be doing a lot of sniper videos. I mean, it seems like the when I come on the mic, it tends to be more tuned towards the sniper. Because I'm playing those, I'm in and out of those every day. I'm making like 5 or 6 SPX. Or sometimes I'll switch over to the SPY and just take more contracts, depending on how I'm feeling. I've also been playing around with the S&P E-minis, the ES. So when I come on at 2 o'clock, yeah, I frequently, the time that I come on is 8 or 8:30. Usually Monday is a shorter session or not a session because of Profit Surge Trader. I don't want to be on the mic while Nate is also on the mic in Profit Surge Trader. So that's usually my time. Fog, the notifications for those will be in here, in the chat. Unless there's one where I'm on the mic. Yeah, I'm going to be putting them into chat. So it's ES. For me, it's ES, and then you have to do. Sometimes it doesn't want to load up correctly, but it is ES1 exclamation point. Right, and that's the same thing. I mean, it's exactly the same chart, right? It's just a different instrument. These trade, pre-market and post-market. Basically, they're trading all the time. Nice thing about SPX is it's cash settled, right? So they're just different instruments. Okay, so I have a poll that I pulled up, and I just want to see. Oh, is it still here? Or do I have to rewrite it? There it is. Okay. Let's see. I want to retitle this. I want to see where everyone's at here. So. Okay. So what I want to know is from a trading perspective, right? And I want to. I've got 3, so I'm going to put a poll in here. I'm curious to know, what are percentages of for new people, for those of you who are in here for the open house. That are new. Well, how is for the newbies? This is not for people who have been in here or are DPL members prior to this week. I'm curious. Have you how has this been for you? I mean, there's been tons of great trades, but I know that everybody's kind of coming from a different place, right? And have you been trading along and making money while we've had this open house? Have you been learning and watching, but not making any trades? And then thirdly, are you still confused on how to execute these trades? And I imagine that everybody's going to kind of be in each category. And if you're a DPL member, don't play along because we've been through all the basics. Yeah, that's fine. Just use the poll up above. You can click on one of the three up above in chat. Oh, Mark, you're not approved to trade options yet. That should be a pretty easy approval process from your broker. Okay, that's great. I mean, that's like 65% are trading along and making money, and I mean that's amazing. For those of you who are learning and watching but not trading, um, I hope that the lessons have been valuable, and that you're gearing up to join us and start trading. And for those of you who are still confused on how to execute these trades, um, next week I am going to do a couple of like basics sessions, and you'll see this afternoon during my training session. We'll do a little bit of a basics options, how to calculate risk reward, but then we'll also go through basics of charting, basics of candlesticks. I'm the guy that's going to kind of come in and walk you back through the basics just to make sure that everybody can be up to speed, so that when we're putting on a trade that's fast, right? When we're putting on a fast trade, you know what's happening, and you can actually execute that within your platform. So if you join us next week, I'll be doing those sessions, probably starting on Tuesday, since I don't have a lot of time on Monday. If you're getting an audio echo, you might have two versions of the room open. Forward is just cranking along. God, this market is crazy. Crazy, crazy. Love it. You can only do covered calls? Thomas, you should, with level one, you should be able to buy. I mean, sorry. Yeah, buy calls and buy puts. That's level one. Yeah, Susan, it just takes time, right? It just takes time going through and trading small until you learn how to properly execute these trades. Getting a whoops, yes, bucks. Oh, look at Starbucks right now. Starbucks looks a little like LMT. And we got one on W Day too. Well, for me, and you'll see this, D-Man doesn't trade a lot on Fridays, and because he's done the back testing and of all of his trades and the journaling, and found that his worst trading day, and he can correct me if I'm wrong, his worst trading day over the course of many years of trading is Fridays. And so he tends to take Fridays, trades significantly less, sometimes takes the whole day off to spend with his family. And just knowing what your trading metrics are by tracking them in a journal is really, really important. Because we all have tendencies, and you'll hear us use phrases like "don't lose your ass on a Friday," right? Which means you've had a good week this week, right? And this is back to psychology, right? We've talked a little psychology. We've talked about when in a trade, how normally we're fearful as beginning traders when we're in a winning trade. And I mean fearful like I need to take this off and take my profit. And then when we're in a losing trade, we tend to be hopeful that it's going to come back and we don't want to take it off. And we need to, as traders, if we want to be profitable and professional, we need to learn how to reverse those, right? Be fearful when a trade isn't working and cut it early, and be hopeful when trade is working, right? And Nate has a journal template that he can share because it's set up to share. The one I use is not set up to share. Peruse, did I say that right? Yeah, we will talk about patterns a lot. That's another one of the so the things we'll do next week, for beginners, is we'll do options 101, or this is what I'll do. I'll do hour long, 45-minute long classes on these. We'll do options 101. We'll do chart patterns. We'll do candlesticks. Right? We'll do risk reward. Right? And we'll do a little risk reward here at 2:00. But we'll go through how to look, how to find an option, how to find the right strike price, how to calculate what is gonna how the option is going to move in relation to the underlying stock. We'll talk about chart patterns, W patterns, ascending triangles, TPS pattern styles, the bird pattern. We'll talk about candlesticks and how to read those. Anything else you guys want me to do a lesson on? Just sort of basics that will get you going and help you understand how to execute these trades. Cash settled, like SPX is cash settled, which means even if you're profitable on an option expiring that day in the SPX, you do not have to close it out to capture that profit or loss. You can just let it close, and it'll cash settle in your account. I always close them out anyway because I don't trust it. But you don't have to worry about being assigned on a cash settled instrument. Oh yeah, you want to do setting up Thinkorswim? Yeah, that's totally fine. I have that. I'll do that as well, right? Whoops, what just happened? I'll do a whole session on setting up Thinkorswim. Why can't I open this? There we go. Right? And we can talk about how to place orders. I'll also do one on OCO and bracket orders. Right? Setting a stop and a profit target when you put the order on. And we'll record all of them. Yep. We will record all of them. Who knows? What's the number one goal today? I know. What's the number one goal for today? Yep. Finnegan got it. There you go. So that's another thing when we talk about psychology, right? Is on a Friday you don't want like that's where I lost my train of thought earlier. Is you don't want to. We use the phrase "don't lose your ass on a Friday," which means if you've had a great week, don't come in here and be a hero. You don't need to be a hero. Your job is to keep that money, take it into the weekend, and feel good about yourself and feel positive. Because for those experienced traders, we've all done it. I know I've done it. I've had a great week, and I come in here and try to have an even greater week on a Friday. A lot of times a Friday can be kind of choppy, especially if it's an options expiration week. Monthly options expiration week, and then all of a sudden, you've given back half or more of what you made that week, and then you have to sit through the weekend feeling, down about yourself. So, the number one goal of today is to keep it. So, most of us will probably not put on any big trades or make any big risky trades today because we've all had such a great weekend here. And that's the whole point. And that's why in my session at 2, I'll do a teaching session versus a trading session. Yeah, take that money into the weekend, feel good about yourself, buy yourself something nice, or just use it to increase your trading account so you can take larger size next week. All right. Well, I hope to see you guys in here next week. For those of you who have already joined, I'm excited for what we're going to do. For those of you who haven't joined, today's the last day for you still get $100 off, which is great. We'll do all of these nice and slow and more for anyone that has been in here this week and is like, I just don't quite understand how to put some of this stuff on and at the speed that it happens. We'll do sessions that we can slow it down and you can ask those questions and really get a feel for how to put these things on. So I'm excited for next week. It is lunch break now, so there will be an off mic sign up, and we'll be back. I think Nate comes on at 1 o'clock. I think it's Nate, and then me again, and then D-Man. And then for the close, for the last hour of the day, we'll have our Three Amigos session, where all three of us are on the mic at the same time. So we will see you then. Have a nice, relaxing lunch.